Hello, welcome back to Bennystake. I'm your girl Benny, and listen, I'm back on my couch here again because we're gonna finish this season of Love is Blind and we're gonna finish it together. Now, I don't watch episode 6 because that day I was tired. I didn't want to talk or nothing. I just watched it, took my notes, and so we're gonna go ahead and just like recap it really quickly together. But the following episodes coming up, it's still gonna be on my couch. We're gonna watch it together. We're gonna let it do what it do. One thing I do want to say is Patrick, you have an unnatural allegiance to losers that needs to be studied on a global scale, right? And we're gonna get right into it. But if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. Do not treat me like a side piece. Okay, do not treat me like a side piece. Make this official. You see how I've been consistent. You see how I've been showing up. Make it official. Go ahead and subscribe. Okay, say I do to this here channel. Let it do what it do. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. We've grown. It's been like at least a good 100 of y'all that joined the page, which I'm so excited. Thank y'all so much. I do not take you for granted that y'all been watching my videos, watching it till the end, leaving comments, liking it. It goes a long way. It goes a long way for the algorithm to just like, push out my videos to other people. And it's a way to support me because when y'all watch my videos, if it does well in numbers, I get a little change. You know what I'm saying? I get a little change for me to go ahead and buy my eggs, buy a little drink. Let me show y'all my drink, child. I done made me a little sunrise. You see how pretty that is? Now, I wouldn't be able to afford it if I had the little money on the side to get my orange juice and my little, whatever that thing is in the bottom. I don't forgot the name, but watch my video. It does go a long way. It really, really does go a long way. And I appreciate y'all. I've been trying to be consistent. I'm going to keep trying to be consistent. Y'all are doing your thing. I'm going to do my thing. So let's just go ahead and get into it because Patrick, what did that tell you? Did I not tell you to get off my screen? When it was still time, I done told you, get off my screen. But you ain't listen though. You ain't listen. It wasn't clocking to you. You ain't listen. You know what I'm saying? But alas, now here we are. So when we was in episode 5, why, whatchamacallit, Casey, the blonde on the horizon, why did the scene close out with her in a lounge, right? And the lounge, she just was there looking disheveled. And I was like, what had happened? What's going on? What done happened to the woman of God after she done met the only Asian man she's ever seen in her life? The way she was acting like, oh my gosh, I've never dated an Asian. Like she was acting like she had never even seen an Asian man before. Right, so I'm like, what done happened? Like, did Patrick go ahead and start, showcasing his taekwondo? Did he start doing like a little kung fu, you know what I'm saying, like around the woman of God? Like, what done happened that this baby was out here being distressed and disheveled for no reason? Like, what's going on? Y'all just met. And it was awkward. It was weird. Y'all was out here doing the scenic view. Like, and over here we have the trees. And over here, we have the decoration, the fake flowers that Love is Blind down there, the Netflix people, then pull for the people that got on the screen. And I was just kind of like, what could have possibly gone wrong in a matter of like, what, a day or so? Like, what's going on? Right? Why is gonna pen and this baby gonna be like, he's not bad looking by any means necessary, but like he deserves somebody better. And the producer gonna ask her like, and that ain't you? And she gonna be like, yeah, nah.
He's not a bad looking guy in any sense. He deserves somebody that is so obsessed with him.
Get somebody else to do it. This baby said, go ahead and get somebody else to do it. Go ahead and get, all the other girlies. Maybe get him an Asian girlie. Get him somebody else. It ain't gonna be me. Cause mind you, I got me homeboy down there at the crib. You know what I'm saying? That's like a lot better looking than Patrick. Now, for me personally, I don't think Patrick bad looking at all. Comment down below. I don't think that baby is bad looking. I think he's very just like, cute. I like the way he looks. Like, I don't think that man is any bad looking at all. His brain and his reasoning skills, I can have a whole lot to say on. But that baby not ugly looking at all. at all to me. But that ain't Casey, because Casey is a blonde on the horizon, and she probably looking for another blonde on the horizon that's gonna look like her, because you know what I'm saying, like she white.
That's not you.
No.
And then I was just kind of like, okay, does Patrick know this? And then we see Patrick pulling, and now they have one of the most confusing scenes I've ever seen in my entire life.
I love you so much. I was so happy.
This baby was out here hugging this man, kissing on this man, gonna talk about it's just been a lot. It's just been a lot. I cannot handle a lot. It's just been a lot. And I'm like, a lot of what? And I'm confused, but I'm like, okay, I'm reading between the lines. And we've also seen on the other side, and she done say that this baby, you know, he cute, but like he cute in a way that's not cute the way I want people to be cute. You know what I'm saying? It's cute. And then it's like, you know, Patrick is on the horizon of cuteness. He's not fully on the cuteness. If this cuteness, Patrick is within the vicinity of cuteness, he's not fully cute. Like he hasn't committed. You know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't committed fully to the cuteness. So that's a problem for me, a blonde on the horizon, right? But why is he not computing to Patrick? On one hand, I was like, okay, maybe he a little confused because this girl is literally doing this. She all over this man, touching this man, kissing this man. This baby is getting her weeping on. Jesus wept. Casey down the blonde on the horizon was out here weeping on my screen. Gonna talk about how, like, you know, it's, you know, the producers are trying to make it, you know, feel as though it's all about looks, but it ain't nothing about looks. It's about her family. Like, you know, she just doesn't want to do this on TV anymore. It's just like a lot. She feels overwhelmed. And so on one hand, she's kissing this man. On the other hand, she's literally lying to his face.
Are you trying to like get you break up? Or are you trying to just go home?
No, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Talk about it's the producers that are trying to make it be about the looks. Mind you, she just said like, this baby, you know, he has a face that only a mother can love. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna love that. There is no way I'm finna grow ahead and grow my attraction towards this man. Ain't no way. This baby eats too much dumplings. I can't do that. I can't. Casey was like, I'm not finna do all the dumplings. I'm not finna do all the fried rice. I'm not finna do none of that. I want my drunk man noodles. I want it sober. This baby's drunk man noodle is way too drunk. I ain't trying to do all that.
Like, are you trying to break?
No.
Yeah, just yeah, you're good. It's okay. I'll see you back in Denver.
When it comes to loving the Asians and the Asian culture, I'm down to having the little dumplings on the side. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for the little, you know, fall and them. I'm not down to have a whole Asian man down my house, down my canal, trying to kiss all up on me and be trying to crossing my canal. I'm not going to do that. That's what she done told the producers. But to this man, this baby is literally lying.
Yeah.
They're like making it about, or like ask me if it's anything to do with what you look like, and I just like, no.
Yeah, I trust you. No.
Literally lying. And you got Patrick there like, oh, it's okay. We don't have to go to Baja. It's okay. And she's trying to tell him like, hey, I don't think you understand. Like, I can't do this. It's a lie. It's a lie. She was saying just enough, doing the opposite of what she was saying. But for some reason, it still was not clocking to Patrick that, like, wait a minute, could it be that this baby just don't, she just don't mess with me like that? Could it be? Given also the conversations that they done had in the past of homegirl letting him know that she has homeboy down there at the crib, the ex that's not the ex, that's currently the present, that's waiting on her. Given all of that, this baby, it still was beyond the realm of comprehension for him to even think to himself, like, wait a minute, like, this girl might not want me. Like, that was not even a possibility for him.
I just can't do it.
Yeah, No, I know. It's like,
But like, keep going.
let's go back home.
No,
You're good.
I can't. Like,
You're good.
I love you so much, and I feel.
And I want to ask y'all, yes, she was contradictory with her statement. Yes, she was, on one hand trying to blame the producers, kissing all up on him and all that stuff. But could y'all still pick the fact that this girl really just didn't give a damn about this man? In that moment, based off of what she was saying, like she was really fighting her whole life to just say like, hey, I don't want to be with you. She was saying anything but that.
I don't know how you're gonna get my number. You have my last name.
Yeah. You have Instagram?
Yeah, it does.
We can just go back home to Denver and we can try things over there. And she was like, how you gonna find me in Denver? You ain't got my phone number. If an adult's gonna tell you that, right, and all the screws in your head are aligned, everything is in place, everything is working the way the good Lord intended for it to work. If a girl or a person gonna let you know, well, how you gonna find me? How you gonna find my number? Mind you, they're sitting there and they know their number. The number they could just give to you right then and there. This baby is like, well, how you gonna find me? You ain't got my number. You don't know where I live. I mean, I got Instagram and all. Like, I could use an extra follower. But how you gonna find me? Meanwhile, she's sitting on her own number. If somebody tells me that, isn't that clear to y'all? That's like, oh, you could just give me the number. If you're not trying to give me the number, that means you don't want me to connect with you when we go back home. Comment down below and let me know. And you have Patrick over there just sitting like boo-boo the fool. And I'm just kind of like, Patrick, you have an unnatural allegiance, right, to stupidity that has to be studied on a global scale. I'm talking about China. I'm talking about Russia. I'm talking about North Korea. I'm talking about the US. I'm talking about everybody down there in Bangladesh, all the Indians that be good with the computers, all the people down there in Bahrain, all the people down there in Ethiopia, all the Congolese, the Nigerians, the Kenyans, you got the Zambians, you got the Zimbabweans, all the people all over the world. Okay? All of your people down there in Cambodia, all the people down there in China, they got to come together, put all their resources to figure out why you were so committed. But we got to figure out your unnatural allegiance to losers that you refuse to detach from. Nothing, I promise you, nothing is more of a priority than this right here. Because how can this woman let you know, like, well, how you gonna have my number? How you gonna find me? You ain't got my number. Meanwhile, she could sit there and give you the number if she wanted to. And so he's sitting there like, what's going on? He trying to whisper, like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Like, are we breaking up? Like, what's going on? And this girl is stammering. She's kissing him. She's doing the most. And it's not computing to him. It's not clocking to him like what's actually happening. Yo, I have seen a sloth that's a little faster with it than Patrick. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Bartimaeus, before the good Lord and gave him his eyesight back, even Bartimaeus could see that this is a scheme that a blonde girl on the horizon done set up to come and hit you with some BS. You talking about, oh, we could just go home to Denver, and she keeps saying like, no, it's just like a lot going on. No, it's just like a lot going on. How was that not clear? Maybe it's me. Was it clear to y'all that this girl was lying the whole time, that this girl was playing the whole time, especially on that scene? Right? This is season 9 of Love is Blind. It don't ever give a good thing. It don't ever give a good sign after you done met somebody in person for real. And then all of a sudden the producer's gonna call you in a lounge that ain't had nothing to do with nothing. Now you guys are looking at each other from a scene that nobody has ever seen. That don't ever mean anything good. So for Patrick to sit there and still just be oblivious, and I'm just kind of like, is it denial? Are you getting your denial is a river in Egypt on? Like, what was that? What the hell was that, Patrick? This is embarrassing. Like, this is absolutely embarrassing. Why he gonna be in the confessionals like, oh, we just gonna go home, everything is fine. She's one of the best people that I've ever met. Like, we love each other. Just like a lot going on. And I believe the producers done ask him, do you think this has anything to do with looks? And he was like, no, I don't think so. I don't think it has anything to do with looks. I think we're fine. We just gonna figure it out. We gonna go back home. We gonna fall in love. I'm around if you guys want to take me to Baja. And I'm just kind of like, Patrick.
I still feel good about her. I mean, I think I'll probably take it slow with her moving forward, but she says she still loves me, so yeah.
What the hell? Like, Patrick, what the hell? How have you survived this entire time? This your whole life? How have you survived being this low? Like, at this point, is it deliverance that we need? Like, is it an exorcism? Like, what's going on? Because Angels of Africa, we could get them together at any given point. Who calling? Yeah, nobody calling. I'm supposed to go ahead and cancel a subscription and not put an alarm. What is going on, Patrick? Like, what the hell is going on? Embarrassing the entire Asian community like this is just like wild to me. Embarrassing yourself and your entire lineage. Over Casey, who's a blonde on the horizon. Mind you, she had homeboy at the crib waiting on her. Just because she done gave you the rundown of how she was going to go ahead and sit on you and ride you, you know what I'm saying? Like, send you to the promised land. She was going to go ahead and just like, make you feel all the extra juices. You was going to go ahead and be delivered. You was going to go ahead and, come to the knowledge of Christ. Like, is it because she just said that made you feel like, dang, like, I really cannot miss out on the blonde on the horizon? Who did you date? And I'm not even trying to say Casey is an ugly looking girl at all. She's a gorgeous girl. But who did you date in your life that you feel like after seeing Casey, talking to her, and the ways in which she's been contradicting herself, her having a man at the house, who have you dated in the past that made you feel like this is not something you could ever pass up? What about Casey made you feel like, dang, I ain't never had anything like this. I'm not about to fumble this, so I'm going to do whatever I got to do, even if that means looking like Boo Boo the Fool. Because the last time I thought Boo Boo the Fool was like your long lost, identical twin. Come to find out, you Boo Boo the Fool. Okay? We ain't never knew who he was. But we've finally established that this you right here.
I think she's pretty genuine. I don't think she's gaslighting. You can tell we're attracted to each other. It has nothing to do with physical attraction.
And then this baby gonna go ahead and climb on him. And then they hugging and then they kissing. Y'all, oh my God. And it's one thing to know, like, okay, I'm not, I may not know all the answers and I'm not seeing all the behind the scenes. But the producers, some of the questions that they were asking you should have probably raised a little red flag in your mind. Because they were asking him like, hey, do you think this has anything to do with attraction? And he was like, no, she's genuine. She's not gaslighting me. We love each other. We're just going to take things slow. We're going to go ahead and go back to Denver. Mind you, this baby is like, you're going to have to go ahead and do a rock, paper, scissors. You're going to go ahead and have to guess my phone number because I'm not giving you my phone number. You got my last name, okay? You got my last name, Macintosh. Is her last name Macintosh? You got my last name, Macintosh. You can go ahead and Google some Macintosh and see which Macintosh gonna come up. Might be me, might not be me. But the most you're gonna know is my Instagram because I'm not gonna give you my number. That you're gonna have to play the lottery. Okay, you're gonna have to buy a couple lottery. See, maybe you could do a little scratch off. Maybe my number might be there. I know my number. I ain't finna give it to you. Like, these are the things that this girl is saying to you. Granted, she's kissing you, she's hugging you, she's doing all of these things. But these are the words that's coming out of her mouth. And so the questions that the producers are asking you, the fact that that didn't even raise a concern in your mind is absolutely wild to me. Wild. Okay, I've seen a pair of roaches, okay, with a little bit more critical thinking than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen a pair of sloths. Because you know they slow, right? They slow with it. But I've seen them be able to like move a little faster. I've seen them be able to like put two and two together. Like, I've seen them be able to do a couple things better than we saw Patrick. And he's just standing there oblivious. Oblivious. Now, I got smoke for Casey too, because the weaponizing of her tears, the using of her body, even in the moments where she was being dishonest, that is diabolical. Like, I don't think y'all realize how hot hell is gonna be. Okay, like, I don't think, as the blind on the horizon, I don't think hell is gonna be as fun as you think it's gonna be. Cause the way you're gonna be slowly cooked in there, it ain't gonna be the cute little tent that y'all be trying to get for the summer. No. It's gonna be slow cooking. Okay? You gonna char in there. Okay? You gonna try to use your own body to be kissing up on a man, to be hugging up on a man that you say you're not attracted to. She was trying to lie on the producers when she was talking to Pat, talking about, oh, it's the producers that trying to make it be about like the looks. They rolled the clips. 45 minutes later, gonna talk about like, yeah, I don't like that, baby.
I just unfortunately don't think like my attraction to him is gonna grow that much. And I think it would be so unfair to him to have us go to Mexico. I just don't think I could get there with him.
Okay, he facially challenged. He don't look right. That's a face only his mother could love. Okay? That's the face that only his mother could love. It ain't, the love not gonna grow from me. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you knew all this, yet and still you were using your body, you were using your lips, kissing up on this man, hugging all up on this man, only to support a lie. And then you were using your white woman tears, okay, to play the victim, to play the, I'm so fragile, this is just too much, just like a lot going on. To use all that, that is dangerous. But then again, I'm not shocked because we saw her do that in the past. We saw her try to gaslight him in the past, and he sat there like Boo Boo the Fool. Then we saw that when that wasn't working, she switched the tone to talking about sex. Really, really overtly talking about sex. Like, I'm finna sit on you, I'm gonna go down on you, I'm gonna do all these things. Somebody that's gonna do all that to just get things done and to get things across, that ain't somebody that has integrity. But the problem is, Patrick, you are slow. You are slow. And you also wanted to stay on my screen to continue to terrorize me as a woman of God on my couch. But one thing about me, God don't play about me, okay? Y'all was not going to keep causing me chaos. See how that ended. I told you we're going through dangerous territory. You ain't listen. But alas, here we are. And so both of them now, they were off my screen, and I was just kind of like, I need reparations, okay? For everything y'all done put me through on this here season, I need reparations. I need it. Okay. And Patrick, you need to work on that self love. You need to work on self respect. You need to work on self esteem. Esteem for yourself. You got to work on it. That is sad. All jokes aside, that is sad. Asian people are not ugly. Asian people are not to be insulted and to be told like, oh, you are good looking for an Asian guy. Like that's something you have to unpack and you have to fall in love with yourself like for real and lean into people that will find attraction in who you are instead of spending your entire life trying to convince colonizers that you are in fact worthy of love, that you are in fact worthy of attraction. You already are. You already are. It's a matter of you recognizing that, walking in that confidence, and actually finding somebody that's going to be attracted to you, that's going to love you for who you are. Instead of you trying to dumb down who you are, dumb down your heritage, just trying to dumb things down. It's sad, but embarrassing. And I don't want you to get off my screen. But alas, here we are. So now we got the couples on the road trip. And I'm just going to talk about them in pairs. And I'm also going to talk about, obviously the group meetups and how that went. We're going to start with KB and Giddy Edmond. And so you got Giddy Edmond who bought her shoes. And, he bought her like matching shirts, like, I think it was like either she's mine or he's mine or whatever the case is. But, he got them gifts together, which was cute.
You are so cute. You got a matching shirt.
But then you hear her talk about how, like, dang, like, now you got one up on me. I'm finna go ahead and just like, wait and see. I'm finna go ahead and, do you even better. You gave me this. Watch when we get home, I'm gone.
I compete. That's the thing. Like I look at everything as a competition, and so it's like, God damn it, he just came in here with this gift box. Wait till we get back to damage.
I'm gonna win this challenge type kind of thing, and I'm just kind of like, my sister Calibria, I love you, but my gosh, that is a trauma response if I've ever seen it. Girl, relax. I'm not like all these other girls. Like, whatever you do for me, I'm gonna do for you. Everything is like a competition for me. And I'm just gonna like, girl, can you just like rest and let somebody do for you? Because Giddy Edmond, he got energy. He be bouncing, he be running. This baby got energy. Let him do for you. Why do things have to be a competition?
I want to see you well taken care of.
And I'm gonna be grateful because no women don't tend to do that journey.
They don't. I don't see things like the way most girls see them.
Why do things have to be a competition? Why is it that as a human person, why can't you just rest in the fact that somebody can do for you without you having to do Simone Biles levels of gymnastics to do something right back? Now, am I saying you shouldn't be grateful? I'm not saying that at all, right? But it ain't like this baby done gave you his kidney. He done gave you shoes and a t-shirt. Now that to you is like, okay, now I'm finna go ahead and get my competition on. We gonna compete. We gonna see who gonna outgive the other person more. Beloved, rest. Okay? Rest. It's all right. Because now you keep contradicting yourself. You don't want to be way too independent. You don't want to be into that masculine energy. You want to like have a man that's going to be like an alpha man that's going to do for you. Yet and still, even when they want to do something little, you want to turn it into like a whole argument where like, oh, if you do, I'm going to do. If you do, I'm going to do. Why? Why, beloved? Why? And the whole thing of like, I'm not like the other girls. I'm just like low-key getting tired of it because it's just a part of it keeps giving me pick Misha energy in a way that I'm not liking. Do I believe every relationship should have like, reciprocity? Of course. Of course I do. Right? Like he thought a shirt would be cute. He thought like a little sneaker would be cute. That's fine. Right? Someday you'll be out about on the street. You might see something that he likes. He spoke a lot about rollerblading or whatever. You might see something that's like a mug that has like rollerblading. You might see a shirt that's talking about roller. You might see something that's also unique to him and to his interest and be like, oh, let me grab it for him. But not as a thing of like, because you did, I'm also gonna do like that little, that competitive nature, and then tied with this whole idea of like, I'm not finna be like the other girls. It's like, dang, like, what's wrong with the other girls? Like, what's wrong with the other girls? You could just love your man. Y'all could be hopping around, on my screen. Y'all could do whatever. Like, you could just do your thing without making it be like, I'm different. I'm not like all these other girls. Like, okay, girls, he's already picked you. It's okay. He has already picked you. It's too much. It's a bit too much. Comment down below and let me know. But that scene to me was just like really awkward and really weird. And then we have them have this conversation right here.
All right, let's say we at the club. This big buff guy walk up. He see me holding your hand. And he like, I want you. And I'm like, don't you see I got a man? In that situation, how would you react?
I obviously cannot play everything. I gotta play bits and pieces. But the whole conversation was like about hypothetical scenarios. You know how we be. If I ain't had no leg, would you still love me? My husband be annoyed with me whenever I come up with all these hypothetical scenarios, right? But she gon' pull out like an hypothetical scenario. Like, say we in the club, right? And you got this man that's gonna come up on me, trying to touch my arm, or, trying to like, flex up on me a little bit. What would you do? And why Giddy Edmond gonna say this?
I ain't gonna cause no problem. I ain't gonna talk to that
He
man.
grabbed me. This man that don't know me, he grabbed me, your wife. And you got no reaction.
I'm not gonna cause no confrontation.
That baby said, I don't fight, the Lord defends me. Okay? I'm peaceful and I'm love.
You're supposed to be my protector. And you don't even try to say nothing to him. You don't try to move his hand. You're like, security.
I'll be the pussy or whatever. I just don't want no problems.
I'm a pacifist, okay? I don't do no fighting. I don't do no kung fu. I will, even if the man was in a wheelchair, I'm not raising my hand to no man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not raising my hand to no man if it ain't no hug, if it ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, my bro? Like, I'm not defending nobody. If you're looking for a defender, baby, lean on God. You cannot lean on me, because one thing about me, as soon as it comes time for it, either I'm going to call security or I'm going to go ahead and run the hell up out of there. I'm not here to protect you. I'm not here to defend you. I'm not here to do not a damn thing.
Let's say this man is your side.
He could be in a wheelchair.
And you still not gonna get this man hand off me.
I'm not gonna place my hands on no man. That's not like a handshake or a hug.
I'm not the one. Okay? This baby said, I'm not the one. I'm not fighting nobody's battles or nothing. I'm never gonna put myself in a situation where I gotta fight a man, even if it means defending your honor, even if it means defending your safety. I'm not finna do none of that at all. At all. And she kept trying to like raise the bar. So I'm like, okay, I ain't did nothing to this person and they're really putting their hands on me. You're not gonna do nothing. And he was like, no, baby, I'm not finna do not a damn thing. So then I'm like, okay, you're not like the other girls. Come and take it. Because as regular girls, we want a man that's gonna at least attempt. Now, is all the men in our lives gonna be the strongest that's gonna, kung fu and win the fight and do the things? Maybe they won't. Maybe they could try to defend us and they get their ass beat too. Maybe. You never know. But the allure of that, the allure of like, dang, like, if I'm ever in a situation, because we live in a very violent world caused by men, okay? Say I'm in a position, in a predicament that's gonna cause for predicaments, I at least know that you're gonna have my back. Regardless of how that's gonna play out, regardless of how, maybe the outcome gonna be. Like, we never know. Not everybody can fight like that, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, people have different strengths. People have different strengths. But the allure is like, I want to know that you're going to try. That's us regular girls. But you done spent your whole time letting us know how you not regular. You just going to take it. My sister, take it now. Take it like an offering being offered to you. Take it. This is a man you chose blindly on my screen. Go ahead and take it. That man literally said that and was like, you could call me a pussy right now, and that's not a problem to me. And I was just kind of like, wow. Like, wow, talk about radical honesty. And he said, I ain't got no problem. I'm not defending, I'm not fighting for nobody. I don't fight. I be running. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna kiss the floor, I'm gonna eat my boogers, but I'm not fighting, not a damn. I'm not doing it. And then the conversation just switches to them talking about how, like, he was telling her, like, I just want to know that you think I'm special, this and then the third. And I'm like, baby, you are special. You very special. Like, we all think you're very special. Okay? Very, very special. Bless your heart. Very special. And so you had her in her confessionals be like, dang, like, that's not something that was like really good to hear. Like, he ain't gonna defend me, he ain't gonna try to do nothing. Like, that's something that made me feel a little bit more uncomfortable. But I'm like, you're not like all the other girls. It's some things we don't be tolerating, it's some things we don't be taking, but you different from us, right? Like, you built different. So go ahead, take it to the chin. Take it to the chin. I don't want to hear no complaining because you're different. Make this a competition as to how different you finna be from us, the other girls. Take it to the chin. I hate that for you. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I don't want nobody, hypothetical scenario or not, to be feeling comfortable putting their hands on you, and you have a man next to you that's going to not even try to defend you, try to diffuse it. Like, no. No. I don't want that for you. Right? But you different from us. You different. You've made it a point at every, like, you've made it a point to let us know at least twice now that you're not like the other girls, that you think differently. And it's like, okay, you different, he's special. Together, okay, it's a union. It's a match made in heaven. I'm not gonna send nothing the good Lord and put together. Absolutely not. And so then we get a scene of them just like showcasing how they spent their night and whatever the case is. And you had him, with his rollerblades, and then you had him with a little bandana thing that he done made out of toilet paper. And then on the side, he was like twerking. And I was just kind of like, Lord, if you trying to teach my sister some endurance, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to teach my sister some perseverance, if you're trying to teach my sister some patience, you really did your thing with that one.
Is that your twerk?
Something like, oh yeah.
But yeah, we excited for the day.
And she's sitting there just kind of like, oh, he's so silly. He gonna wear me out. Yes, beloved, he gonna wear you out. He will. He will wear you out. Because then this brings us to when they do the little meetup with like all the couples together. Why this baby gonna go ahead and start letting, Calibria and whatchamacallit, Anna, that he was crying when Anna decided to go ahead and pick Nick over Brandon. And I was just kind of like, what?
That thing with Brennan, it was crazy. We were crying. I was crying. And you haven't met him and seen him.
We don't want to trigger her, baby.
I know.
And the way he was saying it, the way he was coming at the conversation, Calibria felt uncomfortable, and she was like, yo, like, chill out. Like, watch your words. Like, chill out. That ain't got nothing. Like, she was trying to diffuse the conversation. And in that moment, I really felt for her, right? On the strength alone of, like, that dynamic is going to be of her literally having to navigate and be almost like within the vicinity so that he doesn't do things that would embarrass her.
Watch how you working. Watch how you
I'm being deeply real.
Like, she gonna have to sit over here and be coaching this man. She gonna have to be sitting over here and almost like, let me just be here so that I don't let him go way too far with whatever, mess that's about to come out of his mouth or that he's about to do. Remember that look when he decided to go ahead and run when they did the little meetup? That look where she was like, yeah, you're going to have a whole lot of that. And to avoid having a whole lot of that, especially in public, you're going to have to almost like babysit this man so he doesn't do or say things that'll be out of pocket. But again, it's Giddy Edmond. So even with her best effort, it's not like it was really registering to him like that for real, for real. And I'm just kind of like, sis, I hate that for you. I really do. And so after the meetup, we get into, all the couples now back into their little villas or whatever the case is. And the conversation around celibacy comes about. And we find out that Calibra is like, yo, I'm going to wait, until we get married. Like, I really want to take the whole process, really get to know you. I don't want to rush, like getting intimate. Why this baby going to go ahead and crash out?
30 days is okay, B. You can interrupt me if you want. It's okay. But you letting... What?
This baby literally had a meltdown. Gonna get mad at her. Again, I cannot play the whole clips, but this baby gonna get mad at her, talk about whole like, oh, in the past, you've given people, yourself, you've opened up yourself for way less. Like you've let a bunch of dudes like hit for way less. And here I am being really nice to you. I'm really being kind to you. Like I done gave you a massage the other day, which by the way, this baby was putting sunscreen, right? He was putting sunscreen on her feet and he was there licking the sunscreen off her feet. And I was just kind of like, Lord, you could tell the other couples, the other girlies, they were like a little uncomfortable, like, dang, like it's getting a little hot and spicy over here. And Giddy Edmond could not for the life of him read the room. Y'all take a look.
Baby, that's sunscreen on there.
Oh,
You licked it.
please. I need KB and Edmund.
It just was a lie. It just was a lie. But this baby is now throwing that conversation back to her face on some like, I'm such a nice guy and this is what I get for being a nice guy. Why won't you let me just like hit? I'm trying to go ahead and cross. I'm trying to go ahead and, visit your canal. I'm trying to go ahead and get to the promised land with you. Like, I'm saying? Like, why can't I hit? I'm such a nice guy. Like, I've been nothing but nice to you. Remember, I done bought you the t-shirt and I done bought you the sneakers. Like, I'm trying to be nice. Like, why you not rewarding me with your body for me being nice?
Oh, no. I'm giving you my all, KB. I'm the only dude on the trip that ain't get to have sex with you. You let dudes that ain't even care about you. And you like, I don't give a fuck about it. You let them have sex with you.
And I was just kind of like, Edmund, are you okay? I know you're not, but like, are you okay? Are you okay? He crying over the canal, y'all. He crying.
They got one night stand, whatever the fucking case is. And here I am rubbing your feet, giving you my fucking all. And you tell me about marriage, and if it don't work.
He crying over the canal. That is manipulative. That is not nice. That's not what it means to be nice. And you don't give somebody a massage expecting that they're going to give you their coochie in return. Are you okay?
Wait, I can't lie, I can't be in my... I'm serious. I'm just always the fucking nice guy. Fuck me up. I'm too fucking nice.
Like, are you actually okay? And you got Calibra over there like, dang, like, what the hell? I'm done having this conversation. I said what I said. And, for 4 weeks, you're not going to die. You're not going to die. And this man is there crying over coochie juice. He's such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. He giving the massage. He did the things. Why won't you reward my niceness? Why won't you And that's the thing with y'all. Y'all be wanting to be nice, but y'all don't be knowing what kindness is. Because niceness is performative. Okay? Niceness is performative. Kindness prioritizes and keeps in mind the other person, their needs, their boundaries. That's what kindness does. Okay? That's what kindness does. But niceness, like I'm going to say the things that you want to hear, even though I don't mean them. I'm going to lie to keep face. I'm going to try to manipulate you and try to just like I'm trying to coerce you almost. That's niceness. That's not kindness. We should all be trying to be more kind. Because kindness will keep in mind the other person. Kindness will not turn this woman that you done met on my screen blindly like 2.5 seconds ago. You're not going to turn her into, an object. Right? You're not going to turn her into a transactional object that's there for your pleasure and your pleasure alone just because you done bought her sneakers. That's not even that's not nice. Right? That's manipulation. That is you trying to test the waters to see how weak she is and how much you could get away with some things. And Calibra was like, now I may not be like the other girls, but don't play in my face. This conversation is over. She turned around and went to bed. That was so weird to me. That was such a weird thing to me, and I really hope Calibra takes this into account and bows out. Now, you may want to stay all the way to the end of the experiments because nothing to you that you've seen seems like too crazy, but like, I really hope this is raising a red flag to you. That this man, it's no. For somebody to make you feel as though your body is not your own, that is there for his pleasure, and that whenever he wants it, without any consideration of what you may want, what boundaries you may have, that you're just supposed to be like, what, give it to him because he gonna cry and beg for it. I hope you take that into account. And so you have Annie and Nick, and the two of them, they're doing a whole lot more trying to convince us that they like each other, and I'm ready for both of them to get off my screen, right? Because there was one of the scenes that they were doing, and Annie said something along the lines of like, I want him to be quiet.
Sometimes it's nice to just be quiet.
Let me enjoy you. Just.
Nick's over talking and just having words one thing about Nick, he gonna talk. Me and Nick, we gonna talk. Right? But I'm a YouTuber, so I got to talk to the people of God. One thing about Nick, he gonna talk. Right? And so she said something like that, and Annie gonna tell you things that she wants to say, but she gonna say like she laughing. I don't like that. I don't really like that at all. So she was like, I need him to be quiet. But I need him to be quiet. Like, he talking too much, like he talking your ears off already. And you got Nick there on the other side, who I also know he don't like this girl like that for real, because low key he wants to go ahead and start dating DeAndre down there at the crib, because his mama was out here accusing him of liking a little too much honey in his tea. Okay, his mother accused him of that. But after they met everybody, Annie was talking about how, she feels like they made the right choice, this, that, and the third. And at the meetup too, Annie was annoyed at Homeless Joe, because Homeless Joe had way too much to drink. We didn't really get to see what exactly Homeless Joe done said or what exactly he done did, but he just was like really weird at the meetup, and Annie was like, leave me alone, like what the hell, like she was very just like annoyed at him. And I think Homeless Joe was drunk, not to excuse whatever it is that he may have done, but I could tell in that moment that this baby was like really intoxicated. And of course you had the girlies at the lounge. They spoke about how like everybody was crossing the canal and nobody was waiting, and so Annie was like, it was great, like she had a good time with Nick. And I'm just kind of like, okay, all right, Nick, I see you trying to put in that extra time. Okay, you trying to put in that extra time in the bedroom so that ain't nobody gonna accuse you of glucose levels. But sometimes the thing about glucose levels, it just be that high glucose levels. Sometimes the glucose levels just be high, and sometimes that could lend you to having a little bit more energy to be out here tutoring for the women of God. But like again, the accusations came from inside of the house, from your mother, the first lady of your life. So do whatever you guys should do to try to convince the people of God. I'm not buying it. Even with the coupon, I'm not buying this. Even if this was on sale, 90% off, I'm still not buying it, Nick. Okay? I'm not buying it. And also, Annie gonna say any old thing to land her husband up out of this. She don't give a damn. Okay? You could have been tap dancing at her door, not knowing where to ring the doorbell, and this baby would take it. She would take it. All right? She trying to leave this place here with her husband. It don't matter. I'm not buying. Whatever y'all are selling, I'm not buying it. Even if it was buy one, get one free, and y'all was the thing that was going to come for free, I still would reject it. I'm not buying it. But comment down below and let me know.